The recent fires that started near Longwood in Victoria on the 7th of January and burnt until the 21st of January not only took out hundreds of residential and agricultural buildings, kilometres of fencing and significant livestock losses, but they also touched and affected the community in a profound way. Chris and Michael from Creightons Creek CFA recently invited me out to talk about the importance of community preparedness in the face of these sort of fires. Chris!
G'day, Tim.
Michael,
Tim.
How are you guys?
Good to see you.
Welcome to Creightons Creek, Tim.
Michael, the fires that started at Longwood and impacted on Creightons Creek for those 7 or so days of the main blaze were pretty catastrophic, weren't they?
Certainly catastrophic, Tim. Yes, started at Longwood Wednesday afternoon, under control on the flanks, and it just took up towards Upton Hill, out of control. Thursday morning we met, we had a meeting here, it was sort of semi-settled, but we were still very careful about it. Took off Thursday night, went Friday morning, it was settled again, and then it took off Friday afternoon, and that's when it came through Creightons Creek and just devastated the place.
Fires aren't just a 5-minute thing, are they? They can go for weeks.
This fire just went for weeks and weeks and weeks afterwards, yeah. We were getting little flare-ups all the time.
Now, Chris, it wasn't just the CFA appliances and the aerial appliances that were certainly involved in the fight, but it wasn't just them involved in the fight. There was an awful lot of private appliances required to combat these fires, wasn't there?
Yeah, correct, Tim. These private appliances played a huge role in the fighting of these fires. The size of this fire meant that we only had a few limited trucks in the area.
Yep.
But we had a backup of probably, I'll say, half a dozen private appliances. And so once our trucks had emptied the water on the fire, these private appliances came in, held the fire line while we filled up, and then we came back in, knocked down did the heavy lifting there, and then the private appliances would come and hold the ground.
So it was a real team community effort that you put in behind this. And to show the extent of the reliance on the community in this area here, the Creightons Creek transfer pump is something to behold. Can we go and have a look at that?
Very much so, Tim.
Now this is an impressive looking piece of kit, mate. Talk me through it. What's going on here?
So, Tim, we've got a quick fill trailer here, driven by a 4-cylinder diesel motor.
Yep.
High capacity pump.
Yep.
Suction 4-inch.
Yep.
We have the ability to fill up a truck probably within under 3 minutes.
So you can fill an appliance in under 3 minutes?
Pretty much.
That's pretty impressive stuff. This is also something to do with the semi-trailer as well?
Exactly right, Tim. So we can have the ability to fill up those super tankers from either CFA or Shire.
So you can park this at a water source and you can service everyone. And you designed this, your community designed this specifically to not only service your CFA appliances, but also your domestic appliances as well. You see them as equal in the fight.
Very, very much so, Tim. So this basically funds raised by the community, designed and built by the community in conjunction with the local CFA.
Yep.
And it came about because there was a need for such a piece of equipment. And otherwise we're trying to suck out of dams, that all takes time. We come in, set up this once,
yeah,
and we have the ability to fill up not just our trucks, but all the trucks that are in that fire ground.
So you've got faster return to the fire ground, and you're also safer because you're not having to go down into creeks and waterways as well.
Correct.
Now, we're talking about being able to use domestic firefighting appliances on the fire ground. We've got to be very careful when we suggest that, because there's domestic firefighting appliances and then there's domestic firefighting appliances. This is an example of a good one. What are we looking for if we're tooling up to fight fires?
Okay, Tim, so basically a good store of water. So this tank here is 600 litres.
Yep.
We've got a good durable hose on it that, a little bit sort of fire resistant, I guess.
Yes.
It doesn't melt straight away. Probably 30 metres of length would be...
So that's your minimum?
Would be ideal.
Yep.
and obviously driven by a pretty good, reliable pump.
Yeah, we've got a Honda motor here with a Davy pump.
Yes.
And so that's going to start, because the worst thing in the world is a fire starts on your property.
So
You fill up your tank, you go out and the thing won't start.
So all of these things start prior to the fire season, Tim.
Yep.
And you need to service that.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that that thing is working the way it should be.
Give it a start, run it for a few minutes, make
all
sure
the time.
everything's going ticky-boo.
Yeah, and on a weekly basis through the fire season.
Gotcha.
You know, no use doing it in September and say, oh, I've sorted that out prior to the fire season, but the fire's not until February.
Yeah.
No one started the pump for 5-6 months. You need to start it regularly. Make sure that it's topped up with fuel, ready to go.
Make sure the fuel's fresh and not from last year.
Very much so. Yes, yes. And how many people get caught out of that? Oh, it's full.
Yeah. Yeah. Tip it out.
Fuel's gone
Fill it
stale.
up with new stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Recirculation hose. So when you're not operating the hose, that the pump doesn't get hot.
Yep. Now this is also on a very heavy duty trailer and it's braked. That's critical as well if you're working on hills, isn't it? Because 600 litres of water weighs a fair bit.
Tim, I've seen trailers break in half on fire grounds because they weren't set up correctly.
Right.
Flimsy axles or chassis. They put a 600 litre tank on or 800 litre, go across a bumpy paddock, breaks the trailer in half.
So a bad idea is an IBC full of water on an old 6x4 trailer with a pump strapped to the back of it.
Funny you say that, that was the one that broke in half.
Now the other thing that's really important when we're talking fire readiness, we've got the equipment right, now we've got to get the people right. Now Creightons Creek is a wonderful community and there's people at the CFA every week having sausage sizzles and talking together and helping each other and having community events regularly. It's critical for people to get involved with their local CFA and actually learn what to do to prepare for the fire season well before it.
Very much so. The one thing that CFA does is teach you about fires and how fires react in certain terrains, and you know, also where to put your water for to be most efficient to put it out. Be safe around a fire environment, and also the good thing about CFA, they also give you protective uniforms.
So if you increase your knowledge and you get a bit of good gear and you set your property up, a fire is something that you can actually tackle as a community.
Yes, Tim, and you've got to also remember that most fires are small. So we talk about big fires, but 99% of the fires are actually small fires. And someone in their backyard with an angle grinder, mower, whatever, they start a little fire. If you've got one of these units sitting in your backyard, you're going to stop a big fire happening.
So people need to get onto their local CFA, mate. They need to get the right equipment, but then they need to learn how to use it.
Correct.
Well, thank you very much for everything that you're
Tim,
doing with the community, mate. It's absolutely
thank you
wonderful
very much.
to come out here.
Lovely.
And the strength and the resilience of this community, Michael, even in the face of the fires that you've all gone through, is quite astounding when we have a turnout like we did today just to talk about fire preparedness.
Yeah, the community around here is very strong, Tim, and everyone supports everyone else. And there's older people here that are great mentors to the younger generation, not so many younger like myself, but you people much younger than myself. They're great mentors.
That's a wonderful thing. So if you guys want to find out about how to get involved with your state fire organisation, there are links in the description below. There are resources and there is knowledge available from these community organisations that is worth more than gold. Do your part and become a responsible landowner. Get the right equipment, and next time there's a small fire on your property, you'll stop it becoming a big fire for everyone else. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tim. Knows that there's another 2,000 or 3,000 litres coming.
We'll have to start again. Sorry.
Hey, what are you doing? We're filming.